We all have them, right? Those little aches, those desires that just won't quit. It could be that big trip you've always wanted to take, hitting a fitness goal that feels just out of reach, or maybe it's just walking into a room feeling like a more confident version of yourself.
Absolutely. These desires, these if-onlys, are a universal human experience. It's that gap between where we are and where we long to be that can feel so frustrating. And it's fascinating to see how some individuals seem to effortlessly bridge that gap, achieving those aspirations that remain elusive for others.
It is. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is there some secret sauce, some hidden formula that separates those who manifest their dreams from those who just keep dreaming?
It's a question that has intrigued thinkers for centuries. You witness individuals setting intentions and achieving remarkable things, making you ponder if there's a force at play beyond just sheer effort and chance. Meanwhile, others can invest immense energy and still feel like they're treading water.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Forget the surface level advice and quick fixes. We're going deep, exploring the core engine that drives this phenomenon. We want to equip you with a solid, practical understanding of the mechanisms that make this whole manifesting thing tick.
What's so compelling is that the most powerful force is often the one we overlook. Our own internal landscape. It's not just about creating a vision board, it's about understanding the profound connection between your self-image and the constant chatter within your own mind.
Okay, so let's talk about self-image. I feel like that word often gets associated with superficiality, but we're talking about something much deeper, right?
Exactly. Think of your self-image as your internal compass, the set of beliefs you hold about who you are, your capabilities, and what you deserve. This internal compass is constantly shaping your internal dialogue, the often unconscious thoughts and stories that run through your mind all day.
This brings to mind something that really shifted my perspective, the red car theory. So picture this. You decide you want a specific thing. For me, it was this particular motorcycle model, sleek and black, the whole shebang, and suddenly it's like they're everywhere. It felt almost magical, like the universe was conspiring to make it happen.
It's a remarkable feeling, isn't it? And what's likely at play is selective attention. Your brain, laser focused on this new desire, starts filtering your environment to highlight instances of it. Those motorcycles were probably always there, but now your awareness is attuned to them, creating the illusion that reality is bending to your will. It's similar to when you learn a new word and suddenly hear it everywhere you go.
That's a great analogy. And for me, this is where things got really personal. When I started digging into my own past, I realized how many negative labels I'd subconsciously assigned to myself. Lazy, for one. Then there was this deeply ingrained belief that I simply couldn't afford the things I truly wanted. And oh, the conviction that a truly fit physique was something other people were just born with. Not to mention the constant need for approval from everyone around me and the misconception that great leaders were just these naturally gifted geniuses. I'm willing to bet a lot of people listening have wrestled with at least one of these feelings.
It's incredibly common. These negative self-perceptions act like invisible anchors, leading to deep-rooted, limiting internal dialogues. Take the thought, I can't afford that. If that's your default narrative, even when opportunities arise, your mind might find reasons to dismiss them or even fail to recognize them as possibilities in the first place.
It's like you're setting up roadblocks for yourself before you even start. And that's exactly what I did for years, dreaming of starting my own online business but never taking action. My inner critic kept whispering, you don't have the skills, the discipline, the knowledge. It's just going to be another failure. So I stayed stuck in analysis paralysis, mentally handcuffed by my own limiting beliefs.
That feeling of being stuck is a direct manifestation of those beliefs. Think about going to the gym. You might logically know you can push for a few more reps, that your true limit is beyond where you're stopping. But then that ingrained internal dialogue kicks in, you're tired, this is enough, and it makes you stop short of your potential. You hit a self-imposed ceiling.
It's crazy how powerful those internal voices can be. And that whole leaders are born idea, man, that one held me back for so long. I'd look at successful people and think, they're just wired differently. I don't have that magic touch. It blinded me to the hard work, the resilience, the constant learning and adaptation that goes into achieving significant success. My internal dialogue was preventing me from even trying to create my own path.
This brings us to a powerful point of self-reflection for you, the listener. Take a moment if you can and think about this. What are 5 words you currently use to describe yourself? Do these words empower you? Do they align with the person you aspire to be? Or do they feel restrictive, like those old labels we were discussing? Now contrast those with examples of more empowering self-talk. I am resourceful. I am persistent. I am capable of learning and growing. The contrast can be quite eye-opening.
It really is. And then there's this concept of projection. The idea that these internal dialogues don't just stay locked inside our heads. They actually shape how we perceive and interact with the world around us. It's almost like we're projecting those beliefs outward.
Precisely. Your internal belief system becomes a lens through which you interpret your experiences. For example, if you hold a subconscious belief that you're not worthy of a fulfilling relationship, you might meet someone kind and genuine, but your internal dialogue might instantly jump to, there must be something wrong with them, or this is too good to be true. That underlying negative self-perception colors your interpretation and can sabotage a potentially positive connection.
It's like we're creating our own obstacles. And this brings up another interesting point, the idea of resenting the very things we desire. It's like harboring negative feelings towards successful people while secretly yearning for that same level of achievement.
What's fascinating here is the internal conflict it generates. Directing negative energy towards something you consciously want creates internal resistance. It's like trying to drive forward with the parking brake on. Cultivating genuine admiration for those who have achieved what you aspire to is crucial. It shifts your internal dialogue from envy and negativity to possibility and inspiration. Instead of dismissing their success, recognizing their effort and dedication opens your mind to the potential for your own journey. You don't need to replicate their path, but respecting their journey can illuminate yours.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So how do we actually start rewriting these old limiting internal dialogues? How do we create an internal environment that supports the realities we truly want? I know it's more than just slapping positive affirmations on the bathroom mirror.
Definitely. It's about consistency. Consistent, positive internal dialogue leading to consistent, aligned actions. Imagine setting a goal to wake up early to work on a passion project. That initial decision is an internal commitment. But that commitment then triggers a chain reaction of necessary actions. Going to bed earlier, prepping your workspace, resisting the snooze button. These consistent actions, stemming from that initial internal commitment, create a routine that ultimately leads to the desired outcome. Dedicated time for your project. To an outsider, it might appear as if you simply manifested that progress.
Like a ripple effect that starts within us and spreads outward. It highlights the difference between a more reactive mindset and a proactive one.
Exactly. Internal dialogues in a reactive state often revolve around immediate concerns and external pressures reacting to problems, worrying about day-to-day survival. While these are valid, a proactive mindset focused on creating a desired reality prioritizes internal growth, skill development, and contributing value. Their internal conversations center on learning, innovating, and making a meaningful impact, which naturally leads to actions that shape a different future.
And that brings us to the importance of being mindful of what we're feeding our minds. The information we consume, the conversations we engage in it, all fuels those internal dialogues.
Absolutely. Negative inputs, whether it's endless scrolling through negative news, doom scrolling on social media, or participating in draining conversations, can heavily impact your internal state and reinforce limiting beliefs. Consciously creating distance from these negative influences is crucial for protecting and nurturing a positive and empowering internal environment. It's about being intentional with the mental nourishment you allow in.
Now, one thing that often holds people back from pursuing a new goal is the feeling of being overwhelmed by competition. It's that voice that says, there are already so many people doing this. What's the point of even trying? How does this internal dialogue play into that sense of being blocked?
Imagine someone lost in a dense forest at night, holding a flashlight. The path forward, their reality, only becomes visible in the beam of that light. Does that mean the path only exists where the light shines? Not at all. Your focused intention, powered by your internal dialogue and the actions it inspires, illuminates your unique way forward. Life isn't a crowded highway with limited lanes. You have the agency to create your own path, much like innovators who revolutionized entire industries or how you approach your unique creative work. Your internal conviction and consistent action carve out your reality, regardless of the perceived crowd.
So to sum it all up, it's a powerful cycle. Positive and empowering internal dialogues lead to more confident and encouraging self-talk, which fuels more decisive and effective actions. These actions generate better results, which reinforce the belief in your ability to shape your reality.
Precisely. It's a self-sustaining loop. Think of a musician learning a new instrument. If their internal dialogue focuses on the joy of learning, the progress they're making, and the potential to create beautiful music, they're more likely to practice consistently, seek new knowledge, and persevere through challenges. This contrasts sharply with an internal dialogue filled with self-doubt and comparison, which can easily lead to discouragement and ultimately stagnation.
And it all comes back to being selective about what we allow into our mental space, because that directly influences those foundational internal dialogues, either propelling us toward our goals or subtly undermining our efforts.
Exactly. This principle, while articulated in various ways, is at the heart of many teachings on personal growth and achievement. Consider individuals who have overcome significant obstacles. Often, their unwavering belief in themselves, their powerful internal narrative of possibility has been a key driving force.
It really comes down to recognizing our own agency, understanding that we're not just passengers in our lives, but active co-creators of our experiences. We have the power to shape our reality.
Absolutely. We each hold the potential to influence our reality by consciously cultivating our internal world. It's about realizing that the power to create the life you desire resides within you, waiting to be harnessed.
So to tap into that power, to turn those desires into tangible realities, it sounds like we need to evolve, to step into a more empowered version of ourselves.
You could put it that way. It's about shedding outdated self-perceptions and venturing beyond the familiar comfort zone. It involves stretching your capabilities and embracing a more courageous and decisive approach, essentially, becoming a more potent version of yourself.
And this brings me to something I'm excited to share. A workshop designed to help you cultivate exactly that. It's a practical roadmap for anyone listening who's ready to take control of their own manifestation journey. We'll delve into concrete strategies for reshaping your self-image, developing unwavering discipline, and enhancing your ability to connect with others, all vital components of stepping into a more empowered version of yourself.
We'll provide tangible tools and techniques to actively reshape those internal dialogues and align them with the outcomes you desire. It's about taking the insights we've explored today and translating them into real-world results.
So here's a final thought to ponder. Imagine the possibilities that would unfold for you if you genuinely deeply believed in your ability to shape your reality through the power of your internal world. Take a moment to really sit with that. Maybe explore some of the ideas we've discussed today. That potential is within you, waiting to be unlocked.